So, my topic is drag entertainment for children, and whether or not it is ethical. Okay. Drag entertainment has been around for hundreds of years. Probably since like ancient Greece. It's been around forever. And drag is a term that came from 19th century British slang. Famously, drag queens are men who dress up as women, although they do not identify that way. Although anyone of any gender, any identity can do drag. Cis women, meaning women who were born women and identify that way, they can do drag. Drag kings, my bad. Drag kings are also, they're less popular, but they exist. They are women who dress up as men and do not identify that way. There are many different types of drag shows. Drag brunch is, well, your typical drag show that you think of when you hear drag show, like RuPaul's Drag Race and so on. Drag brunch, which they're not inherently family friendly, but most family friendly drag entertainment that you will find are going to be drag brunches. And then drag story times, which are kind of new. Since the rise in popularity of drag entertainment for children, people have began to wonder, is it ethical? Drag entertainment fits the theory of personal benefit because it is a good way to entertain you and your child. It's very flashy and it's very creative. It's funny and it's enjoyable just for people of all ages. Family-friendly drag shows do exist, and it is a good way to spend time with your child and have fun. Drag entertainment for children also fits the theory of social benefit. Drag is an art form. It's based on self-expression and just the exploration of gender roles and gender expression as well. It's a way of expressing oneself, and it can also open up the conversation for you to have with your child about gender roles and gender expression and how they can navigate these kinds of topics and these kinds of situations. Drag entertainment can introduce children to diversity and inclusivity, and these kinds of things can really shape them into more accepting and kinder people, teaching them about the differences in identity and sexuality it's a good way to broaden their worldview and make them more well-rounded people. That is a conversation for another day. Okay. Drag entertainment also fits the theory of do no harm. Most typical drag shows like RuPaul's Drag Race and the drag shows that most people think of when someone mentions drag, those kinds of drag shows are not appropriate for children. They contain themes of sexual themes, inappropriate language, jokes, and sometimes even nudity. And their dancing is not very appropriate either. But Oh my gosh. But family-friendly drag does exist. All of the content of your typical drag show is toned down to an appropriate level for children of all ages. Everyone can enjoy it. There's still something in it for the parents as well to enjoy. But the kids can enjoy it too because it is appropriate for them. Drag Storytime is another form of drag entertainment for children. Drag queens dress up and they go to local libraries to read books to children. So yeah. Overall, drag entertainment should be permitted according to the theories of personal benefit, social benefit, and do no harm. It can be entertaining for both adults and children. It can broaden your child's worldview, introduce them to differences and people that may identify differently than them, and introduce them to self-expression and gender roles. It opens up important conversations that you would want to possibly have with your child. It's a harmless way of having fun when child-friendly drag entertainment is enjoyable for everyone, and all of the things it consists of are tailored to the experience of the child. Everything is age appropriate. There's no inappropriate language or nudity or sexual themes and stuff like that. It's meant to be for children, for them to enjoy it without them being exposed to any kind of anything that is inappropriate. However, since your typical drag show is not appropriate for children, anyone under 18 should be forbidden from attending drag shows that do not explicitly state that they are child-friendly, because your usual drag shows that happen in clubs and bars, just the same way as one would require an ID to get into bars and clubs and so on, they should be required to allow people into drag shows because they do contain a lot of mature content. But family-friendly drag does exist, and it exists for a reason, and it should be allowed because it's a good way to spend time with your children, and it opens up a lot of possibilities for them, but also prevents them from experiencing anything that would be inappropriate for them. So, that is it. Thank you.